Boys is getting quiet. Go on and get crunk. Head back to Longview, Kelly popping trunk. I ain't even tripping. Riding and I'm sipping. Let me come through, 4-4, steady tipping. On that new lap. Watch the trunk crack. Let me sit sideways, CB running back. Maybe AP, maybe AD. I ain't even tripping cause we some athletes. Messing with Smitty in the summertime. He get pissed if we don't make our time. But we gon' get it, cause we gotta finish. Nebraska horn hustlers, man, we diminished. Put them boys little, paint like a skittle. I ain't even tripping, I ain't never double dribble. Cause I'm a player from the Himalaya. Let me sit sideways, man. Maybe back door, maybe fall off. Sipping codeine cause I gotta kill a cough. Let me sit sideways in the big Benz. Oh, you boys, they my brothers, they my friends.
All right. Welcome into Fullback U, and this is going to be, I say it all the time, but this is my big brother, man. This is going to be an amazing podcast from my visit to when I meant to make sure when I you already laughing to when I graduated. My big brother Damian Mackey was always there for me. D-Mac, how you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm blessed. Good to be here. It's about time, broski. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be tapped in with my little man, the true 38.
That's real. That's
Sorry,
real.
Really.
I'm gonna show him that. He's gonna be pissed.
Offense first, baby.
Yes,
offense first.
They
talk too much head. Salute, bro. It's good to be here, man.
Absolutely. Always much love to you. Talk about that, man. Growing up with Roy, what was that like? What was y'all's decision like coming to OU? He tweeted some stuff about Stanford the other day. That was awesome. So just let me know to school me up.
Yeah, man. Long story short, first things first. That's my bro. I mean, that's literally been my friend since elementary school. We walked to school together as 7-year-old kids. I used to go pick him up. His house was on my way to school, and so I would walk by his house. His mom would always give him these Danishes. I used to always want them damn Danishes. So I come to the crib. He wanted to play my Sega, so he'd ask to borrow. This is Sega, not Sega Genesis. Sega, old school Sega. That's how old we are. So he would borrow my Sega. He loved the game. I had Ghostbusters. We used to play Ghostbusters. And then, man, we'd hit the school, bro, and we was breaking windows and cutting up. We was bad. We was some knuckleheads, man. Did elementary school, went to middle school together. I moved for 2 years. And that's when he started playing football. My mom wouldn't let me play ball when I was a kid. By the way, Roy Williams was legendary in Pee Wee League.
Really?
Oh, he breaking legs.
Just killing people?
Oh,
so they should have known. It's Cali rules. Yeah. So basically, people should have known before he got to the league that it was going down.
He was demolished. He knew how to hit like we hit in college when he was 9. And I'm not exaggerating, right? Like Roy, every game, bam, Roy Williams. Like, God dang, Lee. And so Little League, he would play. I'd go and watch him play. I played soccer. So I didn't play football. My mom wouldn't let me play when we were like 10. And so I was playing soccer on one field. They were playing in the stadium, and I'd play my games and go watch them play. Middle school, I started playing ball, moved away. They won a couple championships. I was pissed because we from Union City. So Union City Colts was the name of our team. All my boys was on that team. Like 10 of our buddies went D1 from our Little League team. A couple of them made it to the league. And so I came back 8th grade. We played. Then boom, we hit high school ball, man. And that was the glory years of where we're from. We had, every year multiple guys going D1, and then the demographics changed and California Bay Area got super expensive and all the black folk and all the guys we lived with moved out.
Get them D-Mac, real D-Mac. Be real.
Gentrification, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But no, I heard about Union City growing up. So, I mean, obviously with you guys and just talk about, you guys transition to OU, what it was like when you first got there. Everybody's heard just the legendary stories before we get to the 2000 season.
Hey, listen, man. True story. So you said Stanford. I committed to Stanford. Back then you didn't commit as a junior. In fact, you really didn't start getting recruited until your junior year. So Stanford was my first junior day, UCLA, USC. You know who I was interested in going to? 2 schools, not OU, Texas and Nebraska.
How about that?
Listen, man, James Brown and Ricky Williams, I was very intrigued. And then, of course, Nebraska back in those days with, they was Mon Green and all them guys, quarter Bellinger, and then Crouch. Just anyway, Frost, not Crouch, Frost.
Yeah.
So we're in our junior season, and Roy's getting recruited by everybody. So I was like a tier below Roy. Roy had Michigan. Roy had Miami. Roy was a Gatorade All-American, right? Parade All-American. I had all the Pac-10 except for Cal, which is where I wanted to go. I'm from the Bay Area, so I wanted to rep the hometown school. They didn't recruit me. Stanford was recruiting me really hard. I was a 4.0 student. The LA schools, USC, UCLA, they had kind of been on probation. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't the level they are today. Actually, UCLA was really good.
JJ Stokes and them. Deshaun Foster.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
that was my recruiting class.
Okay.
That was my recruiting class. Yeah. What's his name? The receiver. He played for the Eagles.
Think of it.
Yeah.
Freddie Mitchell.
Freddie Mitchell,
buddy.
That's his name. He was a cool dude.
Yep.
So we going through that deal, and I'm staying in Cali. I mean, when I got to OU, everybody's like, "Where you from?" Because I was a little bro. I'm born and raised. I'm from Cali. I'm not from Oklahoma, but I embraced Oklahoma. Roy kind of was able to fit in with OU, right? But we're in our senior year, and I tear my ACL in the championship game. We're playing De La Salle High School, which is a notoriously historic school. They've got history, whatever. We're playing them for the championship, it's a really close game. Tear my ACL third quarter. Stanford. So it's Stanford, Notre Dame, Miami. Who are some? USC. University of Washington. There's like 25 D1 schools there. DJ Williams was on their team, so he was the number one player in the country out of De La Salle. They had a kid named Atari Callan. He was a top 5 running back in the country. They had a kid named the quarterback was a top quarterback prospect and pitcher.
Baseball, yeah, I remember hearing about him. Yep.
Rodriguez was his name.
Matt
we
Rodriguez
had 4 guys. Something like that. Yeah. Our middle backer went to New Mexico. Our left tackle went to BYU. Our fullback went JC and then went on to college. So I mean, just ballers, right? Tear my ACL. Stanford, like that night, bro. Dude calls my mom and is like, I'll never forget his name is Coach Harris, man. If you listening, you mother sucker, you.
Right.
He calls my mom and says, "We want your son to go to a prep school." JD, I had a 4.0.
Wow.
I had 30 offers. You know what I'm saying? And they knew that I was committed to. I went to every Stanford game, every game. Ty Willingham's the head coach. This guy calls my mom and says, "We want you to go to prep school." Like, bro, I'm a prep school. I got athletic scholarships. I mean, I got academic scholarships. So lo and behold, Roy's family's from Oklahoma. And Coach Blake, "Freak, what you doing, Freak? I heard you got hurt. You okay? We got good doctors. We got good doctors out here. I want to come get you. Want to get you hooked up. Come on, Oklahoma." So I'm like, Oklahoma? Oh no, they might try to. It's gonna be some tumbleweeds.
Don't they ride horses out there?
Yeah,
that whole deal.
Stagecoach. Don't they ride stagecoaches?
Yeah.
But I had heard of Damon Parker. So crazy story is I'm getting recruited by Cal. They didn't offer, but Oklahoma plays Cal. Week 1, like my junior year, Damon's a freshman. He went off. I was like, "Who is
in Cali? In Cali?
In Cali. Oh, they playing in Cali. In Cali. Oh, in Cali. DP went off. So I that resonated, and I saw they had a black coach, and I was like, okay, that's respect. But I'm there to see Cal. So listen. Nebraska said don't come for your visit. Texas said don't come for your visit. Even schools like Fresno State don't come for your visit. So USC. It's USC, Oklahoma, Hawaii University, Utah University. There's like 5 schools that are still like, "I don't care, we still want you," right? And so obviously, Roy and I did not plan on playing together. Roy was going to go to UW. Like the school he wanted to play for was UW. He wanted to play for UCLA, but he wanted a Nike school. If you ever ask Roy the story, he literally didn't want to go to UCLA only because they weren't Nike. I'm like, "Boy, you bugging." But UW was, and they were good. So Roy's going to UW. I'm going to Stanford. That was the plan. When I get injured, Roy then says, "Hey man, my family's from Oklahoma. Like, just come check it out." Had a conversation with Blake, and I'm like, "I want to go on a visit, right? I'm kind of like, I want to do the experience, so let's go." JD, we get there, right? Boom, we get out the airport. It's January.
Super
I'm
cold.
From Cali.
Super cold.
I'm from Cali, bro.
Yeah, it's over.
Bro, I get off the plane and like, I want to go home. I literally get off the plane like, "Take me home. This is not okay." Boom, we get, so we get in the airport, get to the car, they take us straight to the hotel. Not so bad. And the next day we get up, They taking us to breakfast. Is hella cold. I had never met cold. I had never like experienced cold like that. And Joe Dickinson, Joe D. Joe D picks us up, takes us to the school. Recruiting visit. Here's the deal. Let me just give you some names. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Trent Smith,
man,
Frank Romero, Curtis Fagan, Dwight Benning, Andre Woolfolk, Brandon Pryor, Chico Zumba. Hot Sauce wasn't there. Mike Skinner, Skinner, Will Barty, Brent Jackson. How about this? Josh Scobie, who didn't come.
K-State.
A kid by the name of he went to Texas. We was like, we punked him every year. I forgot the kid's name. Dang, I forgot his name. But so a lot of the guys that we ended up playing with are there, right? And so, Coach Blake pulled us all together. We have this big meeting, and Trent gets up. I'm Oklahoma, and me and Trent like clicked immediately. I'm like, I like Buddy. He's a cool dude. Oh, Bo Hodges. I remember Bo Hodges. That was my boy. He left, I think, before you got there.
Mm-hmm.
Good kid from Texas. But Trent has this little rallying thing, and everybody's eyes are doing this. What do you think I'm doing, JD? Everybody is like, I'm like, hell no.
Right. I get it. Yeah.
So we go in the room. Look. So to finish it up. So they took it, but they took care of us. Like I said before we got on camera, they took care of us. I ain't gonna say it on the camera. They took really good care of us. So morning after, Coach Blake has us go in the room. Roy goes in the room. He comes back. I said, Roy, what'd you do? And he was like, Mac, just do what you want to do. I said, nah, Lee, what you do? Tell me what you did. He was like, I didn't commit. I was like, I bet. Boom, I go in the room. Coach Blake come out. What's up, Freak? Touch my wings. Because, he played for the Cowboys. He was like a D-line coach or something. He's got these championship rings or Super Bowl rings, whatever. And I'm like, Coach, these is dope. Let me take pictures. So we take pictures with the rings and all this stuff happens. And he said, so you ready to commit? I said, Coach, I got to go home and think about it. Before I can do that, I got to go home and think about it. And he said, you sure? I said, yeah. He said, well, Roy committed. I said, no, he didn't. Yeah, he did. Come here, Roy. Roy come back in the room. I'm looking at Roy like, I said, bro, you say you didn't commit. I didn't commit. So I go home. True story. I'm sitting in my bed. My mom comes in the room with the phone, and I can hear Coach Blake talking out the phone. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, what's up, Coach? Yeah. Guess who voice on the phone too? Here come Roy. Guess who voice on the phone too? Here come his mama. My mama's standing next to me like this on the phone. He's coming. He's gonna go to OU.
That's what's up. And
that's how it's boom. My letter of intent came, signed that thing, boom, on my way to OU. So crazy story. Didn't want to go, kicking and screaming. Now I love being a Sooner, so good stuff.
Man, that's awesome. You're right. The passion for you being a Sooner just shines through. We'll talk about the Facebook group, but I can see it through your words. You're also pretty famous on Rivals account. I'm infamous on there, but that's okay. Shout out to them. Anyway, talk to me about what life was like with Blake when you got to OU, and then we'll definitely have to get into what it was like under that Schmitty guy.
Man. Notice he didn't even say Bob, y'all. He said Schmidt. Bob was a cat, but Schmitty was the devil. But much respect to Schmitty. Listen, man, when I got to OU, I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like we got the last taste. Now, let me digress. Facilities were trash. Our locker room was a joke. It was a joke. Like, for real, it was a joke, right? We didn't have coach's office. The coach's offices were like little bunker things that were made makeshift off the side of the stadium. It was, our weight room was cool. I loved Coach Prince. Coach Prince was the strength and conditioning coach. Cool dude.
Blair Prince.
A lot of autonomy, right? You go in there, he give you a sheet, and you kind of could just do it on your own. If you could you imagine, bro?
Yeah, I could not.
Look, you get your sheet. Dawson was a hard. You remember Dawson was still there when you got to OU, huh? Chris Dawson.
I think he wasn't, but I know you're talking about. I mean, because seeing y'all there and everything, I know you're talking about.
Bet. So Dawson was like the hardest one, and Dawson was a dog, but like, bro, we had a lot of autonomy. We got a chance to like that 1 year at OU. I saw like the people's ability to be like a star. Like DP didn't have to practice. He did, but he didn't have to. DP didn't have to lift weights. He did when he wanted to, but he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? So I saw a like level of like fame California football is not like that. So I'm a young kid. I had a torn ACL, so I'm doing my rehab, and I'm seeing these guys, BD, Brandon Daniels. I'm seeing these guys, Stockton McDougal, right? These these NFL-esque caliber guys, and they chilling. I'm like, dang, college football really is like, if you the man, you kind of run the show, And so I didn't understand that also translates to wins and losses, right? Because we went 5-6 that year. We lost to Oklahoma State that year. We got I think A&M. Listen, I think they beat the brakes off us that case. We didn't play K-State that year, thank God, because they had squad back then. But I had a good time. Listen, when we travel, JD, so I got to travel twice. He promised me for committing. I got this. So I got to go to TCU, OU, Texas. I got to go to both games. When we travel, we had an ice cream bar the night before the games. We had a cookie and fudge and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying, bro? We had hamburgers. Listen, bacon, double stack, the works. And so I'm like, college football is fresh. I like this. Of course, I don't have to play the next day, right? So I'm enjoying myself eating ice cream, the whole nine. And of course, that translated to wins and losses on the field too. So in retrospect, we cried. I didn't physically cry, but I was really hurt when Coach Blake left. Definitely didn't want to see him go. He was like a big bro. Listen, if we needed anything, he had our back. If we had any issues, he had our back. If you had a problem with a class, your class got switched that day. Like, he would pull strings to get us where we needed to be. We just didn't win a lot of football games, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so that deal in Yorkshire was legendary. Oh, was Yorkshire still around when you got to OU?
It was, but y'all had pushed. It had become the spot. No offense, but ladies wouldn't come there. That's what I'll say. You laugh, but it got that rep. Ladies wouldn't come there. So I was like, I can't go. I can't do it.
Yeah, you can't go to Yorkshire if it's gonna be dry.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, JD, again, it's some legendary stories in Yorkshire apartments, man.
I get it.
You tell me, you give me the green light, I'll tell a story or two, but I won't until you tell me I can't.
I get it. Yeah, you do your thing. I just don't have somebody coming to my door, divorce, serving me for divorces and stuff. But let me set up this next story like this. I mentioned that you were on my recruiting visit, and there was something somewhat philosophical that you said, because D-Mac, you were a positive, bright, talkative guy, and I asked you a question. I can't remember exactly how you answered, but the question was something about, why should I come here? And you told me something that nobody else told me. Everybody told me you should come here because you should blah, blah, blah. You told me, do not come here unless you want to be great.
Want to win. Mm-hmm.
Do not come here. And to me, like, I had heard people talking about it, so I was like, what does he mean? Like, I'm thinking, shit, well, it's going to be what you talked about. It's going to be burgers everywhere, ice cream everywhere. But then I start thinking and hearing what everybody's talking about, and I tell everybody, man, my visit was boring because everybody was worried about workouts on Monday. And I'm thinking, Russell Dennison, I've heard he's in really good shape. And Andre Woolfolk, he's a really, really, he's about to be a first-round draft pick from what I hear. And and none of these guys is big-time kicking it like that on the weekend in January? What is this Smitty dude like that? What's he like? What was the day one? I mean, just let him know.
Man, listen. So first things first, I remember that visit. I saw you at the basketball game. What's funny about that visit, and how you and Jay Hunt talk a lot?
All the time.
Okay. So if you ask Hunt, he'll laugh too. And we both had, because I think, is that after the championship season or is that after the Cotton Bowl win?
It was after Cotton Bowl.
Okay. So yeah, so Q had gotten hurt or done something to his jaw or something. He had surgery, and when he came back, he looked different. And Jay told me about you. I knew about you. I knew about you when you were a sophomore. You play like tight end, safety, right? You play like 8 positions, something like that, right? So Hunt's telling me about you all the time. And but we're at the game, and so Hunt's like, there goes my boy JD. I said, bet. I said, who the hell is that next to him? It's Q. You're sitting next to Q. We didn't know who Q was. Who is that?
That's great.
So we always laugh about that because we was like, Q looked like a different person. But nah, man, listen, OU is a place, when we say play like a champ today, it's not a game. and you know this because you came in at the pinnacle of it, but like I remember the shift, right? The shift came in one off season. We we played Texas Tech last game of the season at OU, 98 season. We beat them like 33-38. In fact, JD, we had some momentum. Team's playing better. We find a quarterback. We think that we got Jake Seals as a guy who could be coming back. He's like an underclassman. There's a potential that DP can come back because he's a junior, right? BD found his home. I mean, so it looks like, we might be turning the corner, and then boom, they fired Blake. Anyway, they didn't care. They still fired him. Okay, Blake's fired. Off season comes. So Bob comes. He's hiring his coaches. They're in those shitty offices on the side that I was telling you about, and you should see every day. He's just talking shit. By the way, we used to get delivery. This is a true story, JD. We used to get deliveries of Pillsbury, ho-hos, what I don't even know what Suzy Q's, dong ding dongs. The coach's office every day would have a fresh, like, big old crate of them, and we'd come in and take them. And can you imagine, bro? So we're in the office. The freaking delivery comes, and Coach Stoops is introducing his new guy. Guess who he's introducing?
Schmitty.
Jerry Schmidt.
First guy.
What is this? What is this? Oh, so he goes off for 30 minutes. We're like, oh shit, who is this dude? Calls a team meeting. I'm sitting in the locker room. I'm kind of like putting my shoes on super casual. Everybody's running out. I'm like, why are they running out? Bro, I walk in the room like 30 seconds after everybody else. I'm late. Mm-hmm. If you're early, you're on time. I'm looking at the clock like the meeting's at 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock now. You're late. Very first day, JD, I got Stairmaster.
30 minutes.
Thank God they hadn't gone to like the 2 hours. It's like I had to do 30 minutes. First and only time I ever did Stairmaster in my career at OU, no games, right? Mm-hmm. So Schmidt comes, first workout. All right, guys, we're in the old indoor, the old track one. Boom, we go in. We had done workouts. We had done this and that and all the other stuff. I mean, you know the stories, but brother, we on the line. We get on the line and we do down and backs. We do 2, and then we do 4, and then we do 6. And he said, okay, stop, let's stretch. So we like, cool, okay, let's stretch. Boom, we stretch. On the line, we get back on the line. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Boom, we do 2. Boom, we do 4. JT bows out. Boom, Big Burton bows out. Boom, Hot Sauce bows out. Boom, Tyke bows out. 30 minutes later, half the team's throwing up. You know what he says? Warm-up's over. What? I'm like, oh, who is Bud? Like, you're crazy. Like, I can't play for Buddy. Like, I'm going to quit. That's fine. I'm going to quit. So, that day, that offseason, JD, we had 30 people quit, walk away, or lose a Scully. 30 guys. So the makeup of the team, I mean, I can name guys that were good players. I can name guys that were good friends. And for one reason or another, they couldn't. Schmitty ran off most of them. Bob didn't play. Some of the, guys were trying to do things that Bob wasn't having no part of. Bob was like, we ain't doing that around here. And then some guys, it just wasn't a fit. Some guys came to play for Rex Ryan's scheme, or, power football and the wishbone, because we ran the wishbone the year before. And then, of course, Leach comes in. So I'm juiced. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, because I wanted to play offense anyway, but we ran the wishbone. I ain't playing no damn offense in the wishbone. Mike Leach come in from Kentucky. Hey, bro, we had 3 receivers on Scully. Can you imagine? I'm a redshirt freshman. We got Pee Wee Woods, Mike Woods, Barty, Brent Jackson. We got T. White. We had like 7 returning junior and senior DBs. And me, Kurt, Dre. There was some other kid I forgot. And then we had 3 receivers on Scully. So me, Dre, and Kurt look at each other like, bruh. I'm gonna try offense. Boom, we immediately go to the offensive room, and we get a chance to play as freshmen. So definitely a huge shift and turnaround in the expectations with the team.
Well, I would just have to say, just to give the fans a perspective, you have to be an elite for Smitty's workouts. You have to be an elite track guy for your size. You have to be an elite power lifter for your size, and you have to be an elite football player. Or you ain't going to make it through every workout. You're just going to fall off some. If you haven't ran track for a very long time, if you haven't played football for a very long time, and if you have not lifted for a very long time, he's going to find a way, find your deficiencies, and it's a wrap. And that feeling
and mindset.
And the mindset. And you got to be a worker. You got to be a nonstop worker, a yes sir, no sir type guy, and the type of guy that can accept failure. And D-Mac, I want to get your thoughts on the current team, and I'm going to set it up this way. Maybe that's what they are doing with the transfer portal. I don't know. But what I see, again, all that being said, the first day of pads was different at OU. Totally different back when we were there. With Brent Venables, with Mike, with all those guys, with the front seven that we had, they were the knocking guys out. Point blank.
Zero games.
What was it like in the 2000 season? Is that what it's going to take for us to get back? Let's just kind of transition into the current team with similarities and differences, I guess you would say.
So caveat, and because I'm interested to see what Grinch is going to do. You know what I'm saying? I think in 1 year, here's what I've seen for a decade. I know when I went to OU, we didn't want to give up an inch. Like, that was language. That was specific language. We don't give away shit. Like, that was the language we had on defense and special teams, right? So, it was very alarming to me, and I get it. The game changed, and the whole league plays in space now, and you get a whole bunch of 5'9" guys who are quick jitterbug guys, and you know what I mean? It's not the same 3 yards in a cloud of dust power football like it was when we played. But it just kind of was weird to me to see us in a position where we're 8, 10, 12 yards off the line of scrimmage pre-snap, giving away so much. So interesting to see Grinch come in and say, hey, we're going to attack the line of scrimmage. Good. I like that. Hey, we're going to pre-snap. We're not going to give away the now route or a two-step slant or whatever, right? Good. I like that, because you get quarterbacks confidence. They start throwing, making better throws.
Good point.
I still don't, and people might think I'm crazy. I don't see near the talent we had on defense today. I mean, just in terms of, Barry would always come in, hey, it's not the X's and O's, it's the what?
Jimmies and Joes.
There it is. Barry would say it all the time, right? And so I don't know today if we have the caliber of dog that OU had when we played from our years through your years. That's 6 year from 2000 to 06. You're talking multiple national.
Three deep dogs.
Yeah.
Just,
when Teddy Lehman is your third string linebacker and Jimmy Wilkinson is your third team DN, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get the fact that they weren't household names because we were turning over a team, but like, we had boys, dudes, dogs, right? And so I still see, and I obviously Lincoln and those guys are paying attention to it. I still see areas on defense where they can improve. Now, I'm going to say something that may not make our people, our years happy. I would say people always ask me what's the best team. And I'm not biased. I think we would beat any team because we had the biggest nuts in America. Put us against 03, 04, 08, whatever, like play us on one Saturday, good luck, because it's some grown men.
Spontaneous.
Let's
You
get
never
it.
know who's gonna get the ball.
Let's get
Defense played on fire, and then the team just y'all had everything that you talked about. Y'all had lost so much that we had those teams had y'all seen y'all's success. So we're expecting to win the national championship just off, not even so much off of y'all stuff, but when we got there, we had never we hadn't experienced losses like that, and so I just think our finish was. And I mean, we got a game away. So I mean, twice.
Well, and here's the deal.
Go ahead.
Here's the deal, JD. 04 to me is the best OU team I've ever seen. I didn't see the 80s. I didn't see, what I'm saying? I know I saw the film, but Damian Mackey, I mean, listen, every position. The only person we're missing is Tommy Harris. He shouldn't have left early. If Tommy's on that team, holy shit, right?
Double D got kicked off.
And El Mitch tore his ACL.
Ooh.
El Mitch of 03. Anyway, point is that team, every position is loaded and they're 4-star, 5-star, 110. You know what I'm saying? You guys had an O-line, the receivers. So my point is people would always say, Mackey, listen, we were tough as nails and we were dogs. Mark Clayton's Mark Clayton because when he's a puppy, we do this to him.
Yep.
Mark followed me to California his freshman year. Mackey, I want to come home with you. It's good. Let's go. Right. So that's Lil Broski forever. Yeah. But those guys are on another level. I'm not naive. I'm not stupid, right? Like, they play ball. Lincoln's got them back there on offense.
Yeah, for real.
They're there. Line, skill. I mean, Q might And I think people sleep on J-Dub. They don't understand J-Dub had to reinvent himself and still won the Heisman. You got to understand that, guys. J-Dub was a 4.68 40, shake your drawers off. He was baked with more speed.
Great analogy.
He came in 99. I saw the kid. He'll make T. Marshall miss, duck under somebody, and then throw a strike. That was the J-Dub that we had initially. He had bad knees, or he had bad luck. Freaking Alabama. Is that Bama 2 years in a row? Oh no, it was Bama and then
it was Nebraska.
Nebraska. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so offense, I think we're good. Defense, I'm excited. Grinch reminds me of a young Venables.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a lot of the intangibles, the grit, the aggression. You know what I'm saying? He imposes his will on the team, and that's how I remember us being coached. Oh, JD, that's how we were coached.
That's
Our
real.
coaches impose their will on us. You can't punk out. Don't come back to the sideline if you don't make your block. Don't come back. Bet, coach, I got you. Let's go get it. Like, that's how we were coached, and I see that similarity, and I'm excited. I think OU has a chance. I think we're closer than people think. We got to get some more quality depth. But you look at this team now offensively, the young kid, if he can sling it like they say he can sling it, we're in good shape.
No doubt.
And you see the way we're recruiting.
No
Go
doubt.
ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, offensively, you're exactly right. The thing that scares me, D-Mac, is, I'm a coach now, and I'm just on the junior high level, but, man, we're hurting around here for linemen. I mean, we're hurting. And
you're talking about the state of Oklahoma.
State of Oklahoma and Texas, brother. I mean, even Texas, I mean, just because so many kids want to play skill positions now. I mean, that's a real thing. It's hard to build depth as a coach with linemen. It's hard these days. Whereas back in the day, everybody wanted to play tight end, or everybody found some glory in fullback, or you had people that we're struggling with that. We got to let the people know what you're up to these days, man. We got to and I got to get your thoughts on current events. So just update everybody, and then update me on your thoughts. I gotta know.
Currently, man. So I used to be you probably knew this, but I was a principal for 9 years.
I did remember that.
I was a teacher for 3. I was a math teacher. My 4th year, my principal was like, "You'd make an amazing administrator. I want you to be an administrator." I was like, "Administrator? Hell no." I coached. I was a head football coach 1 year in Cali, so I coached a varsity team for 1 season, and then I took an admin role. So I went back middle school 2 years, high school 7 years, and I retired in 18. 38 years old. I said, man, it's just too much wear and tear on my body. Just to be transparent, dealing with a broken and institutionally racist system started to bear down on me. Front lines. So, as you listen to this conversation, we can have the anecdotal conversation, or we can pull up data. Both of them, I got both, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But here's what I know. I'm not a victim. I'm a solutions-based person. So I said, okay, a lot of the issues that I saw in the school and in the community was economically based. Right. So I said, if I'm going to be an actor, if I'm going to be woke, a social justice warrior, that's for some of you guys. I see some of the stuff you guys say.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being about that mouth, I'm going to be about that action.
Real.
So I'm going to go learn this game. I'm going to go get my money up, and then I'm going to make an impact economically. And so now my wife and I, we have our own business. We teach people the rules of money. We help people with insurance, with IRAs, with rollovers, college funds, things like that. And so we have offices all over the country, man. We got 2 here in Cali. We got 2 in Mississippi. We got an office in Atlanta. We're building 1 in Houston. I just posted in the group, the Facebook group.
Yeah.
I haven't even considered Oklahoma. Don't know why. What the hell was I thinking? So we're coming to Oklahoma 2021. I've already started to have conversations behind the scenes, because here's the deal. People need to know what to do with their money.
Real.
People need to understand the different vehicles, the way it's taxed, how it can grow, volatility, and it's not a super complicated deal. And you can get that type of consultation for free.
That's
you
real.
should not have to pay somebody thousands of dollars to learn the skill. And so we teach it. And so, yeah, man, building a business, having a good time, loving my Sooners, and taking it day by day.
That's
for
real.
Sure.
That's real. Man, this is going to be an amazing podcast, big bro. We got to get you back on with some of your 2000, bro. We got to do a little 2000 National Championship reunion on here, man. Get some of them Yorkshire stories out here. Maybe get a few.
Hey, you know what we should do?
What's up?
We should have everybody a roast. You should do a roast.
Oh, my God.
You should do a roast. JD,
that would be great.
You know how epic it would be.
That would be classic.
get Ante on here. You gotta get Ante Jones. Let me tell you, you gotta get OJ.
Okay.
You gotta get Beach. You gotta get Brent Jackson.
Okay.
You gotta get BP. Oh,
B Prime.
That's those three. Roy Lee. Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'm gonna set it up. As long as you there, I'm gonna set it up.
Oh, I'm in because I got jokes. They gonna have jokes too, though. They gonna have jokes.
You gotta be ready.
But I got
have
jokes.
thick skin. You gave me thick skin. I will say that. I gave me thick skin. So it was just all right. We'll see on the inside. You know, you got me, but we'll see on the inside drill. Fuck it. You know, we'll handle that shit at that time.
I don't know nothing about no inside drill, bro. But you know what? We said we'll see you in one-on-ones. It's good. Catch me in one-on-ones.
That's real. That's real.
Straight up.
Man, I know you're busy, brother. I thank you so much for your time, man. All love to my big brother, Damian Mackey, brother. Much love. Take care of your family. You guys stay safe and all that.
God bless, brother. I appreciate you.
For sure, bro. Great episode of Fullback U.
Salute.
Yes, sir. All right. Welcome into Fullback U, and I'm so blessed to have part two. There's a lot of adjectives I could use about this wonderful woman, but I'm going to just call her the best one I can call her is my friend because I'm so proud to know Kelli Masters. How are you, my friend?
I am doing well, my friend. How are you?
Doing great. I would call you family, but you know, you are family. I consider you.
Yes.
You've known my brother since we were knee high to a grasshopper, and you've always been so great to us. Obviously, a Midwest City person. So let us know just what's going on with you, Kelli. How are you treating this Corona stuff? How is everything going? Update us.
It has been, and I don't even remember the last time we talked, did the podcast. I guess it was before the shutdown, obviously. But my word, I mean, the world turned upside down in March, and nothing's quite been the same. It's, I normally, you know me, I am on the go. I am, jet sitting across the country, and I have just been home for what, 4 months now. So that's been really different. I've been doing a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of FaceTime. You know me, I'm engaged and involved with everything that's going on in my players' lives. And I'm used to being there with them, going through things and talking through things with them. And so that's definitely been a change, just having to do everything virtually. But I think the good thing is I'm a communicator, and I love to stay in touch. And so I've just been nonstop doing that, even though it's, on my phone or on the computer. So draft was different. Obviously, everything was virtual. Pro days got shut down. We had to do all of that virtually. No visits, no pre-draft visits, no pre-draft workouts. And then the draft happens and things get even more uncertain. It's funny. Well, I guess it's not funny, but when everything really started getting shut down in March, I was thinking, in the back of my mind, I'm like, thank goodness this didn't happen in the fall, where it's really impacting the NFL season. And I thought, oh, we'll be way past all this, all this stuff by the time we get to football season. But here we are, and there's still no clarity. I've been on the phone with players this morning and with the NFLPA and trying to figure out, and even teams. And the hard thing is, everyone is talking about, what could happen, what we could do, and making proposals, but we don't have any answers. We don't really know. And so having to call my players and say, hey, how you doing? You may be reporting on the 28th. You may not be. We have no idea what it's going to look like. And the NFLPA obviously they're doing their best, unions, the things that unions do, which is protect their workers, protect, workplace environments and safety and looking at the health of players. But as with football, you can't just worry about the virus. These are players who have not been training in the facility. They've been on their own for months, trying to replicate what normally would be happening in the locker room or in the training room, which is, and on the field and through OTAs and minicamp. That's hard to replicate. And then you're going to throw guys in and say, no preseason, you get 5 padded practices, and then it's go time for season. And the possibility of injuries, the lack of opportunities for the young guys and for the undrafted free agents. And sorry, I could go on.
No, you're good. You're good. Yes, please.
It has been such a different time, and I still think we are so far from out of the mess right now. I'm praying a lot, trying to stay informed, trying to be encouraging, listen to my guys. Obviously, everything else that's happening in the world, I think there's, as dark as things seem sometimes, you know me, I'm like the solution girl. I'm the optimist. I'm like, we're going to come through this and things are going to be better. And we are going to use our platforms and we are going to fight for results and we're going to make things better. And so I think it's so much has been going on, but I choose to go, okay, things are tough right now, but I believe that there's good on the other side. It's just a matter of working through it and getting to that.
Yeah.
So,
well, you're still super agent, and if you can, I want to talk obviously about the big deal was Cam Newton's contract, and we'll get into that. But update us on some of your guys since we talked last. You know, you were hoping to get Jaws a deal. I believe he struck gold before.
Jaws struck gold right before the shutdown.
That's awesome. How about that?
I love him, and I love his story even more. I don't know if did we talk about his whole story? I don't even know if people know.
Little bit. Yeah, go ahead. He walked on at OSU. He
walked on at OSU. He's from Tuttle, Jason White country, and grew up in Tuttle and didn't have any offers. He paid his own way to go to a recruiting weekend for a Division II school, I think in South Dakota. And he was the only guy that paid his way there and then walked out without an offer. And the coach, you know, every other kid walked out with an offer in hand, and he walked in to meet with the coach, and the coach said, well, we'll call you if we have an opportunity for you. And so he had nothing. So he walks on at his dream school, OSU, and he worked his way up to a scholarship, playing that cowboy position as a sort of tight end, fullback, H-back, you know, whatever he needed to be. Ended up going undrafted, but I loved him. I loved watching him play. I felt like he was underutilized in the system. Got to know him, got to know his family. And then he goes undrafted, signs with the Cowboys, and then he doesn't make the cut. He's on practice squad his first year. And during that first season, that was the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And the Eagles kept trying to sign him. Howie Roseman kept calling and saying, okay, we're going to activate him. And the Cowboys would step up and they would increase his salary. And then they finally put him on active roster. And Blake is less than 3 years removed from being on practice squad, and he just signed a $24.25 million 3-year extension.
Nice. So, congrats to both of y'all.
Thank you so much. Awesome. I'm so proud of him. And you know, I don't know how well you know him. He's got a heart of gold, and loves football, loves his football brothers, and he loves what he does, and is so grateful. And I think so much of that, you know, there's so much pressure on players, as you know.
Yes.
But he's always approached things with patience and with a heart of gratitude. And even when Jason Witten unretired and came back the year that Blake thought was going to be his breakout season, he was respectful. He just saw it as, okay, here's an opportunity for me to continue to learn from one of the greats, and I'm just going to wait my turn. And it's working out. So it was fun. I could spend a whole nother hour talking about the negotiation process with the Jones family. That was interesting. Mm-hmm. But we essentially doubled what they were offering us. Within 2 months, we doubled what they were offering us.
That's awesome.
So I'm really, really proud of him and thankful for him putting his faith in me and trusting me through that process. And, you know, it's always interesting. I've been asked a lot about the Cam Newton deal. I've been asked, obviously, about Patrick Mahomes' deal, and people saying, is it a good deal? Is it a bad deal? And like, you know what? If the player is happy, if the player is getting exactly what he wants, then it's a good deal, in my opinion. If the player is getting what he wants and it's a great situation for him to be in, then it's a good deal. And you can pick apart every single deal out there. You can find things that are negative or find something that you feel like the agent should have fought for more, the team should have done differently. But if the player is happy, and different things mean different things to players. So it's not just getting the biggest contract. It's, you know, what about the most important thing, the guarantees, which is the real money in a contract. Does that player intend to stay in that town and play for that team forever? Is that the biggest goal? Because he loves the team, he loves the town, he wants to raise his kids there, whatever. Is that a goal? And we may have talked about this before, but like with Tress Way, the punter, former Sooner, now Washington, whatever they're going to be.
Right.
Washington something. He played for the Washington team.
Yes.
And so we just did his deal in January. And the funniest thing, I forget if we talked about this on the last
That's okay.
podcast, but when I started talking about it again, or talking about his contract extension last fall, he was adamant that he did not want to make more than $3 million.
Oh yeah. You said, oh yeah.
So you find, I as an agent, I had to balance, okay, how do we do something that is, the highest he deserves market-wise, that also is good for all punters, great for him, but that he's not unhappy with me for getting him too much money.
Yes, no, that's awesome. So let's get, I get it, and I think you're the perfect person to answer this.
Okay.
And even my understanding of it, I got to see Carson Palmer in 2008.
Yeah.
He was under a $16 million or $1 million a week deal back then.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. Go ahead. I can edit it out.
Sorry, it's gonna buzz and buzz.
You're
Sorry
good.
about that.
I can edit it out, so it's all good.
Okay.
But Carson Palmer, I would see $1 million. I was trying to peek at his check to see if it's really $1 million a week, and that's that deal.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand. Maybe I don't. But are quarterback negotiations different than a lot of other positions? Are they expected? I mean, most of the great ones that I saw, Kelly, were $20 million a year guys. It seems like that's the average. I don't know. So my leading into the Cam Newton deal, is it normal for him to go to a team and take a significant pay cut? God, that's gotta hurt when they pay Teddy Bridgewater that same way.
Oh my gosh, I know.
So
it's brutal.
Give me your thoughts.
It's so bizarre because so much of it is, there are so many factors that are included when a team is looking at what they're going to pay a player, and they're looking at not just what they're paying that player, but how does that impact the entire rest of the roster? How does that impact their salary cap allocation? What is the player's injury history, and how does that factor into how much you're willing to guarantee? Interestingly, and I keep going back to the Pat Mahomes deal, but Pat Mahomes gets this ginormous $500 million contract, but only 140. That sounds silly. Only 140 million, but only 140 million of that is injury guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So if he gets injured, that's it's a $14 million a year deal, which is still great. But Dak Prescott's probably going to make 35 million a year, and if he does get an extension done by the 15th. Which is probably not going to happen at this point. We'll see. He already signed his franchise tag, but yeah, it's quarterbacks. There's always been a premium for quarterbacks, and I think things changed with the new, the old new CBA, the CBA that was entered into in 2011. That's when everything changed. Remember, Sam Bradford was drafted number 1 overall. Made
50 million or something like that.
It was, I think, the total value of the contract, potential value of the contract. He didn't earn it, but the potential value of the contract was around 80 million. Ooh. Cam Newton gets drafted number 1 overall the following year, and I think gets 23 million. So he played under a really different system as far as rookie contracts go. So he should have been building on that. In his second and his third contract, he's not, he's never going to catch up to what Sam made potentially. And now he's found himself where he's had several years of injuries and his play falling off mostly because of the injuries and then the situation that he was in. And he really had to find a situation that he could do what we all call a prove it deal, which you hate to see, what he's making versus some of the other guys out there. Was it Chase Daniels? Yeah. That's made a killing as a backup quarterback his entire career. And he's making so much more than Cam Newton. That's insane to me. But again, there are a lot of outside factors, and every player is a totally different situation. And it's really hard to compare. You have to, there's just, it's a different negotiation.
If you don't mind elaborating on it, just from, and I know I'm not expecting you to know Cam, but you do maybe know the Patriots. Do you think it's a good deal for him? Do you think it'll work out for him? What do you, if you were his agent, is that the place where he needs, because I mean, he's following Tom Brady.
Right. I wish I had been in all the different discussions, to know what discussions were had with other teams. And a lot of it is he was obviously not just looking for money. He was looking for the best opportunity and the best opportunity to get back to the top. Yeah. And I think if anyone can do it with him, it's Bill Belichick. Yeah. He has proven himself time and time again, taking on players in really similar situations. and allowing them to return to glory. So we'll see if it happens.
That's awesome, Kelly. A few more questions. I know you're busy as heck, but there's been a few things that, obviously we want football, want people to stay safe, but you're starting to hear the NFL say, hey, we're not doing jersey swaps. Hey, we're not taking a certain amount of people to training camps this year. Or, hey, I hate to hear that for your guys that you already know where I'm going to. It's just the guys that are on the cusp. Every day is so important in training camp.
Every snap,
every roster spot. Yes, unfortunate. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Normally, there's 90 guys, as you know. Well, at least the last few years, there have been 90 players in training camp, and every one of them is fighting, except for the ones who are the safe ones, which are really only the guys with all the guaranteed money. You see veterans cut all the time too, but a lot of guys that are the young guys, especially the later round draft picks, the free agents that count on those snaps and those opportunities. And they're not getting them. They're not, and it's going to be such a short window of time too. It literally is going to be like you're going in for rookie mini camp, and that's the only shot you got to make the team. And that's tough. I think I hate to see it for so many guys, especially the young guys, and even the first and second year guys that are still, maybe they were activated, they were practice squad, and then they were activated towards the end of the season with the hopes of starting off on active roster the next year. Teams are going to have to field, the guys that they feel like they can win with right off the bat. And so that cuts down on opportunities for guys. And I hate to see it. I really, really do. Yeah. Don't you think it's a little ironic that they're eliminating jersey swaps after, players have been going at each other for 3 hours and, tackling and breathing on each other and sweating on each other, but you can't swap jerseys. Right.
I thought it was a good thing. You bring it up. That's a great point. I mean, if anything, the NFL handshakes between coaches are less than cordial half the time. To get guys together, and then you got guys, like you said, that went to college together and things like that. So I honestly thought, you see back here,
exactly.
And you're a part of this room too, so you're in here somewhere. So I've got pictures of you hanging up. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh. So. Well, and you know me too. I'm again very involved in my players' lives. I have spent the last 15 years traveling to games every weekend to see my players, give them post-game hugs, take them out to dinner, all of that. I don't think I'm going to get to do that this year. And I wouldn't want to jeopardize my players of, getting on planes and flying all over the country and then, going in and seeing them. I still want them to know that I'm there for them and I'm there to support them. But I think it's just going to be a really different year. And my prayer is that we actually have a season and that we can reach a point where we're not in the same place next year. That's my hope.
Well, last question, Kelly, and again, thank you for your time. But there's nobody you talk about being there for your players. Hell, you're there for your former players like me. I can text you in within 30 seconds, I'm getting a response. You've been on the podcast twice, so I'm just so thankful. And one thing that I have to have the fans know, and that I want you to be able to answer on, is Kelly, you were the only person to call me and check on me about how I feel about racial injustice, about how I feel about race relations, about how, you took a role, you took a stance that, for me, what the people's actions of how they take you in are much more different than what a lot of people's words are. I think a lot of people's eyes are open now, but for me, your arms have always been open, and I thank you for that. But if you can, just comment what it's been like for you current time, what it's been like for you representing players of African American descent. Let me know.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I'm a communicator. I'm not someone that just sits around. I reach out, and my players know that. And the neat thing was, I spent time. It's when did all that go? About Memorial Day. So those first few weeks, and even since then, so the last however many 2 months, 3 months, I didn't even feel right about just calling or texting. I FaceTimed, like I FaceTimed you. I FaceTimed all my guys because I wanted them to see my face. I wanted to see their face. I wanted to tell them, look, I may make you feel uncomfortable, but I love you. I am here for you. I am here to listen. And I can't even pretend to understand the things that you have experienced and the things that you're going through even right now. But I want you to know my heart have compassion, and my heart is heavy for you. And I want to be someone in your life that listens, that says, okay, great, I'm going to lock arms with you. We're going to, whatever it is that you feel compelled to do to change things, I want to be your partner in that. And whatever I can do to help and support you in that, that's what I want to do. And the cool thing was just having that conversation, just having that face-to-face, even if it was on a phone, face-to-face conversation, just the love and the compassion and the connection, I think did something in my heart, and it did something in their hearts. And what I loved was I kept hearing over and over from players like, Kelli, we know where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
We know that you've got our back.
Mm-hmm.
One of my players even said, Kelli, don't say that you can't understand. Like, you've had your share of adversity. It may not be the same, not even close to the same, but you've as a
been
woman,
the outsider. You've been the one that stuck out. You've been the one that's treated
I've been
different.
the one
Absolutely.
that everybody stared at and questioned, and people talked about and said vile
probably
things
did
about
worse
it.
things, said worse things, I would imagine.
Oh
I'm
my
so
gosh,
sorry for that.
The vile stuff that was posted on me about online. I mean, just unbelievable. And just being even told to my face, like, you don't belong here. Because of your gender, you're never going to be successful. And there was no actual barrier. That's what I kept thinking in my mind, is people can tell me I can't do this, but I know in my heart I'm capable. So I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm going to keep fighting against bias and prejudice and injustice. And because I've experienced a tiny bit of that in my own life, just as a woman trying to fight into a world where I was told I didn't belong, that to me helps me have compassion and empathy for the much bigger problems that our country is facing. And so if I can fight for justice for other people, that I look around
Julius
in my own
Jones.
life, I'm fighting for Julius Jones. I'm meeting him. I told you I'm going to McAllister to meet with him in 2 weeks. And talk to him face to face and fight for justice. And I can't, as I shared with you one time, I think I called and said, it seems like there are so many problems, and the problems in our world are so big, but we can all figure out, okay, what is it that I can do? What can I do in my own life with the abilities that I've been given? And how can I fight for others? How can I fight for justice and make a difference in people's lives? And how can I show respect for my fellow man? And so that's where I am, and that's what's been going on with me during this time. So
Kelli, it's been an awesome pod. I know you got to get back to your players and everything. So tell them, have a great season. If they do have a season, I will be supporting them from afar, and be supporting you from afar. I want everybody to get as much money as they can. And you stay on those Joneses and all those guys, and you trust me, they got plenty of money. I think they'll be okay. So
they're gonna be just fine.
There you go. So, well, thank you, Kelli. You're the best.
Thank you, JD.
No problem.
Keep fighting a good fight.
I will. This will be the best episode of Fullback You.
Bye.
Have a good one.